Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to science lesson. So today we're going to continue to our material on chapter 2. As you can see in here, on today's topic we're going to find out do living things need food, what kind of food or they eat, where they can find food, how do they eat, and can they live without food. Well, before we're going to answer all of those questions, I would like to ask you about this question. Do you have any pet? Maybe cat, or bird, rabbit, or turtle? Well, I'm sure some of you have pets. So, of course, this pet must be fed and loved as we are with others. Pets are also one of the living things created by Allah so that we could love them, right? Just like humans, animals also need food and water. Without it, of course, they will not be able to survive and die. So what will happen to these animals if we don't take care of them properly? So this is what will happen. As you can see the cow and the cat in here. Can you recognize what are the difference between the cow and the cats in here? Well, first I'm gonna talk about the cow in here. This cow doesn't have enough food to eat, so it can be weak and sick. Maybe the cow cannot find enough water, so that's what will happen to the cow. How poor the cow is. And then what about the cat in here? What will happen with the cat? I think the cat is very healthy, but actually this cat eat too much food for sometimes. It makes it overweight and sometimes it could be sick too. Like humans, animals also need to eat and drink. So if we do not take care of them carefully, they could get sick. Even some pets will be given vitamins and rabies injections to make them healthier. However, if we give our pet too much food, it is also not good for them. Now you know that animals could get overweight too. Well, if on a previous slide we discussed that animals need healthy food and drink, as well as humans. Do you know where the food we eat comes from? The food we eat comes from animals and plants. For example, in here, you can see the boy eat the rice with some vegetables, fish, and a lot of fruits. Humans, like other animals, need food and water, and there are two kinds of source of it. First, the food that comes from animals, and the second one, food that comes from the plants. The example of food that comes from animals are fish, chicken, meat, milk, and egg, while for the food that comes from the plants are tomato, lettuce, fruits, bread, and pasta. So what's your favorite food for breakfast? For me, I prefer choose bread and chicken. Then, do you know that sometimes the food that we eat is not exactly a healthy food? Wow, shouldn't that be very bad for our body? As you can see, most of the healthy food comes from our plants. And our body needs a various kind of food so that the body can have a balanced diet. As you can see on my screen in here, I have two kinds of food. First is healthy food and the second one is unhealthy food. For healthy food in here, I have milk, yogurt, some fruits and vegetables. As you can see, that's very important for our body. We also need carbohydrates and protein derived from animals such as chicken, cows, and goats. You know that we need to eat the right amount and types of food in order to get healthy, and we also need a lot of water. But sometimes we don't pay attention to which food is healthy for us. We only care about the taste of food without knowing that it will cause bad things to our bodies. For example, as you can see in here, I have a lot of candies, chocolate, soda, burgers, and french fries. So actually, they're not really good for your body because they are a meal with too much sugary, salty, fatty food. And on this slide, you'll see the most needed plants by our country. Do you know what it is? Yes, it's a rice plant. The rice we eat all this time comes from the plants, where these plants provide us with the main source of carbohydrates for the body. So does with the animals that we can eat. Before they die, they'll get food from plants too. So isn't it important for us to take care of the plants, right? Now, do you know where these food come from? I have cheese, noodles, and cereal. Cheese is a dairy product derived from milk and produced in a wide range of flavors, while for noodles are made from the flour. They can be made from wheat flour, mung bean flour, potato flour, or rice flour. While for cereal, that comes from graham flour dough that was dried and broken into shape so hard that they need to be soaked in milk overnight. So do you know which food is the healthiest for us in this picture? Well, maybe it's cheese. But if we consume it too much, it could be bad for our body too. Remember, we need to eat, but we have to control for what we eat. We should eat the right amount of food with lots of variety so that we can always be healthy. Now, can you guess where this food come from? I have steak, yogurt, tofu, and french fries. Can you guess it? Here are the answer. The steak is the food that comes from animal which is cow. And the yogurt in here, it's a food that produced by bacterial fermentation of milk. So it is the kind of food that comes from the combination of bacteria and animal that produce milk, such as cow and goat. The bacteria used to make yogurt are known as yogurt cultures. While for tofu in here, it's come from the plant that made from dry soybeans that are soaked in water, crushed, and boiled. And the last one in here, it is the famous one that I think all of the people love it. Yes, it is from potato plant. I know we'll all love potato. So in here we come up to the last slide and what you have learned for today. We already learned that animals, including humans or plants, need food and water to live in order to survive. And then in order to be healthy and strong, we need to eat in the right amount and types of food. We also need to drink enough water, or maybe the other kind of water such as milk and yogurt. And then a meal, we need a lot of vegetables, fruits, and some dairy or meat so we can keep our body in a healthy shape. A meal with too much sugary, salty, fatty food are not really healthy, such as candies, chocolate, or any kind of fast food. So that's all from today. Don't forget to submit your assignment and see you next week.